In the previous months of 21st literature, learning all there was about trends within advertising, toxic masculinity, and last but not least, the infamous phallic symbol, I waited many months until we started the film unit. Much to my chagrin, we never began to cover horror movies. When one mentions horror movies, what is your first reaction? Do you become intrigued by a good murder mystery, or maybe even a ghostly sighting? Are you one who hesitates when these types of movies are mentioned? For the vast majority, most choose to shy away from horror movies primarily due to one underlying factor. Horror. Most people either love or hate horror movies. For those who won't go within a 5-mile radius of them, their first problem is that essentially they are scared of being scared. This feeling, however, is more congenital than we may think, and may work inversely to this mindset. Unbeknownst to most, we still hold many primal instincts that deal with fear. Primordially, fear was used as a tool that enhanced abilities and made people act either more carefully or actively, depending on the situation. A fight or flight response that is, quote, our emotional response to dangerous circumstances that we believe have the potential to cause death, injury, or illness. In a more modern setting, this response is called the excitation transfer process. When people watch horror movies, their heart rate, blood pressure, and respiration rate all increase. All of these are effects of adrenaline being released as our primitive brains feel endangered within a controlled, safe environment. The only difference is that there is no significant energy being released, as in the case there is no danger, and this physiological arousal lingers with us being aware of it. This feeling is essentially what brings people back for more of these kinds of movies. This is not always the case, however, because some people are wired differently and enjoy the adrenaline rush, while others dislike this unwanted stimuli that may become engendered from these types of movies. I still believe this feeling should be welcomed and praised because of the many positive effects, such as helping to cope with anxiety and enhance brain activity. The controlled environment theory states that when we watch scary movies, we intentionally trigger our fight or flight response in a controlled environment. Similar to exposure therapy, which is used to treat phobias, both are used to enhance our ability to react to anxiety responses in the real world, as well as getting used to them in a controlled environment.
Honey? What's wrong? Mom? Who's that?
A group of researchers recently set up a volunteer experiment outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which was a haunted house attraction that was described as an extreme and, quote, not for the faint of heart. For a period of 35 minutes, guests were exposed to disturbing special effects and characters while also being physically touched by the actors inside. This was not surprising, however, the results afterwards were each individual had a significant boost of a positive mood. In fact, the more they experienced the house as being intense and scary, the better they felt afterwards. First-hand reports said that they were able to produce a better self-awareness because of the controlled environment.
It said it wants to hurt you.
When did it say that?
Right now.
I conducted some research originally by sending out a survey for my classmates to answer. These questions varied and mostly told me what people enjoyed about horror movies or what scared them the most. These helped guide my research as they had other opinions that may differ from my own.